Hello, 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 and welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be reviewing Cloudy's new album, Head in the Clouds. So this has been a very, very long-awaited album by Cloudy. I think he announced it in like freaking May or something, and now it just dropped yesterday as of November 6th, and I have 6th. God, I can't speak. So I listened to it, and I gave all the songs a rating, and now I have an overall rating, so I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on each song and my overall thoughts on the album. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first track is called Thunderstorm, and it begins with a skit of a news anchorman talking about the weather and how there's heavy storming in the area, and then it transitions into the actual song. It has a catchy beat and a good flow in the chorus, and it has a really cool voice effect as well that Cloudy uses to pitch himself down or pitch himself up. I think that's really cool on the mixing part. To me, this just seems like a banger song and an upbeat and interesting opening to the album. So, not a bad way to start, do whatever you want. I think it was interesting, and it definitely, woke me up and got me ready to hear what I was going to be hearing on the rest of the album. So I guess if that was the purpose, it definitely did that. In the refrain of the song, it's a skit of Cloudy telling one of his friends that the police are onto them for something. It isn't really clear what, but maybe I just missed something, but to me it wasn't really clear what was, happening. Then the chorus happens again, and I believe it was a good intro track, but it doesn't really give an idea of what the album is about. It was a great banger though, but as an individual song, I think it was quite good. But, it doesn't really give an idea of what the album is about. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. And then we have the song Lonely Road. This features a slow, catchy, and emotional beat. The chorus is quite good. He sings very well. We already know this. So that also adds to it. In this song, he's talking about a girl and how his relationship fluctuated a lot with her, both highs and lows, and how it changed so quickly for both the good and the bad at different points throughout it. He continues talking about how he's confused by this girl and how this confusion is in turn hurting him. I think this is a pretty good emotional song, but it could do with a more detailed description of the relationship between him and the girl, not just describing the effects of it, because then that would give a better idea of, the whole topic. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. Next we have BBT or Big Bentley Truck. I love this song a lot. I've already heard it because, it came out on Spotify a couple of months ago. It's a really good banger featuring a hard and punchy piano beat, has an awesome chorus and verses. It gets your head nodding, makes you turn up, and that's exactly the purpose of a banger, so it ticks all the boxes, and I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Great song. Next we have the song High Thoughts. This has a pretty chill and slick lo-fi beat. The intro obviously is him lighting a blunt and, beginning to smoke it. And the chorus in the song is particularly catchy. It's like so catchy it almost puts you to sleep, but like in a good way because it's that catchy. The verse is about a girl he loved and how he misses the relationship between them and how she betrayed him. It seems kind of like a throwback to Lonely Road, which is, a good connection on this song. The outro skit is of him on a phone call telling his friend about the consequences of being high and his experience with it. In my opinion, this is a decent song, but it really could have benefited from a second verse, and that would have made it into a really, solid song. So I give it a 7 out of 10. The next song is called Fake Dreams, and this has another emotional piano beat that is quite good. I noticed in the song, because I listened to it with headphones, he pans the audio with the chorus, which I think is, quite cool and a really good effect. I should start doing that soon, because I know how to, but I just, didn't. So, yeah. And this song seems to be about his mental health and how it relates to his passion of rap. It features some really good bars full of emotion. One of the only problems I have with this track is that the repeating chorus gets a bit annoying after, a certain time after it repeats a lot, but it's still good. The second verse is definitely better than the first because it features even more rhymes and more emotion, building upon what he was talking about in the first verse. And the third verse is about an abusive relationship with a girl. And then the outro comes, and I did not expect this, but we are left with over a minute of instrumental, which is quite unsatisfying. Obviously, it's not, that big of a deal, but it's just a bit unsatisfying. Other than that, it's a very good song about the very real problems that nearly everyone faces, having to do with self-esteem, mental health, and worrying about your passions in life. So I gave this an 8 out of 10. The next track is called PSA, or, it stands for Public Service Announcement. The intro skit is a newscaster talking about the racial justice protests in 2020. That is my interpretation of it. And in the song, Cloudy is rapping about the protests and the racial justice movements for a bit of the first verse. He makes a statement about President Trump. I'm not going to go into that because, this is a music channel and I don't talk about politics. So... then in the second and third verse, he changes the topic to how the news and the mainstream media divide the American people to pick one side over the other, and I completely agree. The final message of the song is to come together as a country and not to pick sides, because as humans, we're all the same, which is a really good message. It's a decent song with a great message, but I feel like it could have been helped as a song as a whole with more flow switches and a bit more emotion in its voice, since it is a very serious topic. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. The next song is the title track, Head in the Clouds. Immediately, as soon as the chorus kicks in on this track, the first thing I noticed was the auto-tune is extremely noticeable. It's basically the only thing you can notice. And because of that, the chorus is not good because of the ridiculous amount of auto-tune. It's just, dripping with it. It's kind of ruins the chorus. I don't know how it would sound without the auto-tune because there's just that much. But... it is what it is. The first verse in the song is about his mental resilience to do what he wants without the pressure of doing what others want him to do. And the second verse is about a love interest. I think the second verse is a lot better than the first because he switches up his flow a little bit, and that adds to the track a lot. I think this was a decent track other than the chorus, but the problem is that the chorus happens 3 times, so it's pretty prevalent in the song, and because of how memorable it is, that's what you're left with, so I gave the song a 6 out of 10. The next song is Hatred, featuring Ghost the Rapper and me. I did this feature so long ago, I actually forgot I did it, and when I heard my verse come on, I was like, that's me? I was like, wow, I think I did this back in July, and it's, because it's 2020, time goes very slowly and very quickly at the same time, so this was a time going slowly moment. Anyway, about the song, this one features another piano beat. It's just interesting that he likes piano beats in this album so much. I'm not complaining about it, that, the beat is good, but it's just interesting that, that happens so frequently. Ghost kicks off the song with a great verse about his lyrical ability and how he hates fake rappers, which I obviously can agree with, like Lil Peep and Josh. It has great bars in his verse, like "Body on the street, no sesame." That was my personal favorite because it's a good play on words. Cloudy picks up from Ghost's verse into his own, talking about what he hates in the rap game. He doesn't like huge egos and people dissing each other solely for the purpose of clout, other than having genuine problems with them. He also hates people who rap about nothing all the time, so basically mumble rappers. And then at the end of the verse, he does a fast flow, and it's actually pretty decent because he stays on beat and I can understand what he's saying. And then my verse kicks in, and I'm not going to talk about it because I'm biased, obviously. Other than that, it's a great track, so I gave it a 9 out of 10. The next song is called Fame and Fortune, and it has a very interesting guitar beat. The first part of the first verse is a muffled Cloudy talking about his past and reminiscing about his childhood. In the first verse, he talks about his dad leaving the family and wonders why he did it, and speaks about how it affected him and how it actually helped him in the end, in the long run. Once again, the chorus is dripping with auto-tune. It's good for the most part, but there are parts where it's simply unbearable to listen to. A couple seconds in the chorus are very bad, but other than that, it's pretty decent. The second verse is about him being the new kid in school all of the time, and how the bullying affected him, and once again helped him in the end to become a better person. The third verse goes back to the topic of his dad leaving the family, and how he's going to continue on in the future without him. The song features great bars, as well as great flow. The outro in the song is the muffled Cloudy again, and it's a great way to end the song because it just repeats the message from the beginning, so it carries throughout the whole song. The message about how hurtful things in the moment actually make people stronger in the long run is a very good one, and it's relatable. It also makes the track come to life a lot, so I really like this track other than parts of the chorus, so I gave it a 9 out of 10. I am stuttering a lot. The next song is 3 a.m. Freestyle. The beat is really good and melodic. I quite like it. I think the tag on this is Alchemist Beats, and that really rung a bell in my head. Was like, I feel like I know this guy, and then I realized that guy was Tonga Bonga, the guy who made a bunch of stupid comments on my videos threatening to diss me, and then just disappeared out of the world. So that was funny. This is actually a good beat he produced, though. Anyway, away from that anecdote, it features a good and melodic beat, but the main problem I have with this song is that why is there a chorus in this less than 2-minute song? And why does it happen twice? Like, the song is not even 1 minute and 55 seconds. Why is there a chorus? It just seems like lazy writing to me. That's all. Also, I can clearly tell, maybe not, but it would be even worse for Cloudy if this is not true. I think it might have been literally 3 a.m. When he recorded this based off of the way he's rapping. Because there's very little life in his voice, probably because it's 3 a.m. The freestyle is actually not too bad, but if the song had more life, if he had more life in his voice, and, obviously the lack of a chorus, it would have been a better song, so I gave it a 5 out of 10. The next song is No Sleep. It has another slow guitar beat, and it has a very, very long intro, almost 45 seconds, which I find a bit annoying. The chorus is obviously very auto-tuned, but it's pretty good, and I, quite like it. The auto-tune continues into the verse, and the verse is pretty decent, although it's slightly difficult to understand what he's saying. The flow is really catchy, both in the chorus and the first verse. I have a slight problem in that it's difficult to tell when the chorus ends and the verse starts, or vice versa, because they sound the exact same and there's no differentiation between them. Maniception's verse comes on. It's okay, but it, lacks the life that Cloudy's had, in my opinion. He keeps the same flow throughout the entire nearly 2-minute verse, and it gets pretty boring. Another long outro here, almost 40 seconds. But overall, I think it's a damn good song. If Maniception had a better verse, it would have really solidified the song's goodness. So I give it an 8 out of 10. The next song is called Kill 'Em Cloudy. This is basically his tagline that he says in nearly every single song. It's like it's Dax thing of Cloudy's. So yeah, there's that. It has a hard piano beat. It sounds nearly identical to BBT. I just find that funny. It's another banger track. I don't have a problem with that. The chorus is very catchy. There's good bars, consistent good flow. I feel like this song is a bit too long for a banger. It's still not, it's not really a problem. I'm just nitpicking. It's a solid track for a banger, so I give it a 7 out of 10. The next song is called Magic Mike. It has a good instrumental to start off with, and the chorus is describing a dance he's doing with somebody. The goal of this song, it seems, is to be a club song you'd play while dancing. It has catchy flows and bars again, and it's overall just, a good song, so I give it a 7 out of 10. The next song is called Cloudy Days. It has an emotional beat to start the song. The chorus is muffled a little bit, and it's very quiet compared to the beat, but then the muffling effect is removed, and it's a bit better, so that was a bit annoying for me. The chorus is okay, but the singing, could be better. It's just, if I had to rate the chorus on its own, I'd be like a 5 out of 10. The verse is talking about a girl that he met and liked, but then she moved away or went away from him. It's not really mentioned. And when she left, it became a cloudy day for him, hence the name of the song. I think the refrain is pretty cool because the way he slowly says each of the lines in the chorus is interesting, and it really, gets the message of what he's trying to convey to you into your head. I feel like this was a decent track, but the singing on the chorus could have made the song a lot better, so I gave the song a 7 out of 10. The next song is called Fans Only. It has a reflective and thoughtful beat, and the chorus is quite difficult to understand, I'm not going to lie, but it's catchy, and Kilo has a very good voice, so I will give him that. The verse seems to be where he's talking about how Cloudy's only 100% loyal to one group of people, his fans, because they're the ones who have done the most for him. And one thing I noticed about the song is that it has particularly good production, especially in the chorus. And overall, I think this is a solid song, but Cloudy's verses could have been more slick, and that would have really helped the song as a whole. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. The next song is called Grand Life. It features a upbeat and not happy, but catchy trumpet beat. The chorus is good and catchy, always something you like to see. The flow in the first verse is actually really quite good and interesting, so I like that a lot. The skit in between the first verse and the first chorus is a newscaster talking about a murder case, and it's not clear what the purpose of this skit is. The second verse seems to be about what the newscaster was talking about in the skit, and the skit in between the second verse and the chorus is a newscaster mentioning where the murder case took place. The third verse is about what happens after the cop shoots and kills what appears to be Cloudy's wife. It's a little bit of a confusing track. It's not really clear what the exact topic of the song is or what the purpose is, but it's good anyway, so I give it a 7 out of 10. The next song is called Contour Out. Contour, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just going to go with Contour. This has a no melody beat, which is definitely new for this album because this album's mostly featured piano and guitar beats. So that was definitely interesting to see. It's another banger song. Can't really say much about it. It's just good bars and good flow, gets the head nod, and so I gave it an 8 out of 10. The next song is called Goodbye, outro. I don't really like the title of this track too much because it's not an outro because there's 2 more songs after it, combined the total of about 7.5 minutes. So it's not really an outro. I just don't understand why he would choose to call it that. Anyway, so the beat features bells, which is also a new concept in the album, so that was interesting to see. The chorus is about a girl that left him, which has been a general motif in this album, and it's quite enjoyable, the chorus as well. He continues to build upon the idea of this relationship that he's been periodically making throughout the album. His flow changes pretty consistently, and his flow is really good throughout the song, so I really, really enjoyed it. The ending skit is of a phone call with the girl. He's crying and wondering why she did this to him and thinking out loud because he doesn't know what else to do. And it's a great concept for the song and a good way to expand upon it. His emotion is clearly felt throughout the song, so I gave it an 8 out of 10. The next song is called About You. This is the second to last song in the album. It features a slow and emotional beat. The chorus has a really, really fantastic singer on it, and her voice complements the instrumental very well, which is a great start to the song. This track features a lot of emotion about this girl who cheated on him and the devastation of when he found out about it. You can clearly tell how much emotion Cloudy has in his voice, and that really adds to the track a lot because it really appeals to the listener, or I guess me in this case, but I feel like if I was, just an average listener, this would also appeal to me a lot. The second verse is about the girl trying to take him back, but he's rejecting her advances. Good on you, Cloudy. The verse ends with him apparently killing himself, a dark but really meaningful and emotional end to the song, and it really gets you thinking. So this is a very good song. I gave it a 9 out of 10. The next and final song in the album is called Mental Health 2. I have not heard the original, so I only have listened to this one. So yeah, Mental Health 2. This is the final song in the album. It has another thoughtful piano beat, and the chorus is okay, but it's a little bit annoying with how staccato it is and how monotone and staccato, his singing is. The song is about Cloudy's mental health, and the song acts as accumulation of all the thoughts, themes, and feelings he's been conveying on this album. The verses, flows, and bars stay consistent and good throughout the song. The good voice effects that I've seen in past songs in the album are used throughout this song as well, making Cloudy's voice deeper and editing the instrumental. It adds to the song a lot, if I'm being frank. The final chorus is better, as it refines the lyrics from a question that Cloudy's asking in the other choruses to an answer that he's certain about in the final one. So that really, added a lot for me. So I gave the song an 8 out of 10. So, there we go. That is all the songs. So here are my overall thoughts. On this album, Cloudy proves that he's a completely different person than the one who created Death Row. He makes great themes about mental health, relationships, all while sprinkling in a few bangers to make this album truly good. I think if Cloudy keeps doing what he's doing, he'll be on top of the community, maybe even by his next album. Great job, Cloudy. 7 out of 10. For the whole album. 7 out of 10 for the rating. Thank you guys so much for watching this album review. If you watched the whole thing, thank you. And I will see you guys later. Bye.